Well, if you guys are ready, I'll go ahead and give a quick synopsis. Uh,
Yep.
Last time in our little campaign here, you all had started in the burrows below the Rat's Nest Tavern. After your run-in with the Seer Squeaks and finding of the delirium crystal embedded in the chunk of meteor that had fallen on the Rat's Nest Tavern when it was formerly an operating business during the main fall of the meteor. While down there, you had come across a captive member of the Hooded Lanterns, particularly a young woman by the name of Petra Lang, Lieutenant Commander Petra Lang. After which you decided to flee the burrows as quickly as possible as a horde of ratlings led by a much larger creature known as the Rat Prince gave pursuit of your party. You were able to delay their pursuit as you escaped back up the way you came, out into the streets of Drakenheim, out into the rains, just narrowly escaping their pursuit as they exited. You all briefly caught a quick glimpse as you fled away, Cedric casting Pass Without Trace to leave no sign as you fled northeast, following Petra Lang's advice, heading towards Shepherd's Gate and the current base of the Hooded Lanterns, formerly the castle garrison of the Royal Guard. Upon arrival, you were greeted by excited members of the Hooded Lanterns guarding the gate, in addition to a young man by the name of Ansem, who was Petra's, you would assume, probably twin or roughly the same age brother, who was, in addition to extremely excited to see Petra alive, having assumed potentially the worst, was excited to see, but not as excited to see the four of you, as he didn't seem to take kindly to adventurers in the city of Drakenheim, perhaps having not great relations with adventurers and treasure hunters in the past. But as you did help save the life of another Hooded Lantern, particularly a well-established member of their group, you were given overnight stay in the garrison in the former stockades that is now a safe bastion from the haze that surrounds the surface level of the garrison. And from here, you were able to take a long rest and recover, having hidden the chunk of meteor that you quickly excavated from the burrows and the ratlings. Lord knows what they would have been doing with it had it remained, or what would have become of Petra Lang had she been left in the burrows. Another good thing is you all leveled up to level 4. So,
Hooray!
At this point, you wake to the dawn in the hurried atmosphere of the Hooded Lanterns, despite the fact that there is no active conflict. You can tell that this is still a military organization, as members of the Hooded Lanterns are quickly early to rise and quick to get to their duties for the day. Some on guard duty, some preparing meals for the day, others off to train and hone their skills. Georgio, you are quite familiar with this early to rise mentality, having been trained formally by the Royal Guard of Drakenheim before the fall of the city, and having been taken to a more remote part of the Kingdom of Westamar after the calamity took place in Kesselholm. But you all are escorted out to the dining hall. After leaving the stockades, you are greeted with this sight. I'll go ahead and pull that up so you guys can get a nice glimpse of the Hooded Lanterns, or the castle garrison, I should say. What? Wrong one. What? Wrong one.
I'm not looking.
Spoiler.
No.
Up.
Wrong one. There we go. It's not a big spoiler. But anyway, you are greeted with this sight from above the 3- and 4-story castle walls of the Drakenheim garrison. Let me go ahead and pull that up for everybody else.
And this is current?
This is current. This is currently what it looks like.
Oh. Looks swanky as hell.
Right. It is,
I'd live there.
portions of the garrison feed into the large 60 and 80-foot sections of the Drakenheim wall that separates the outer and inner cities. Large parapets guarded by towers positioned with ballistas and siege equipment, as well as members of the Hooded Lanterns all carrying longbows and other long-range implements to fend off this section of the city from Garmir incursions, as well as other other monstrous beings that have inhabited the city for the last 15 years. But you also see various training grounds, a blacksmithy on the south side, as well as a number of other storehouses and various office-like buildings surrounding this contained segment of the city just inside the main walls of Drakenheim. You are all escorted to the dining hall where you sit and take a meal with some of the Hooded Lanterns. At this point, what would you all like to do?
Were the pits supposed to be today?
No, they would have been. I'm sorry.
It's every other day, so I think
Every other day.
It will be at the end of today.
Yeah, the end this evening. Yes.
Yeah. Because we tried to go, couldn't. We went to this instead the next day, and now it's back again. So it would be today.
Right.
So, we have the pits. We have the rock, right?
Yeah.
Right. You do have
Delirium.
you have the delirium crystal. You haven't removed it from the chunk of meteoric iron and rock, but you have taken the chunk as a whole with you, and you have it hidden at this time. I believe one of you shoved it into a sleeping sack or sleeping bag.
Rolled up in my sleeping bag.
Mm-hmm.
Scrawlneck think we need to buy cart.
As he says it with his barrel chest.
No, it's my fucking DoorDash is what it was. I left a note on there saying don't ring the doorbell, and she rang the doorbell, and my fucking dog freaked out.
It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
DoorDash.
My dog's like, let's go, food, let's go.
Yay for not
sorry.
reading the note.
You're good, man.
DoorDash.
We're just trying to decide what we want to do for the day. We still have the delirium chunk inside of the rock, as well as the pits, fighting pits, happen today night.
Right. Okay. So I remember when we were trying to figure out the stone that we really couldn't get the stone out of the bigger stone, but I don't know, since we kind of have more time, if we can try to figure out to get it out now, like if we can bring it to someone, or if we want to try to manhandle it ourselves. Well, not me, I'm a fucking weak boy, but if we want to try to manhandle it ourselves to try to get it out there, that's the only thing I could think of. And then unless you guys want to prepare, because I'm not going to be with you guys when you guys go to the fight pits, at least not right away.
I mean, if we need to get this thing out of the chunk, maybe the blacksmith has additional tools, possibly, or at least knows where to get additional tools. You might be able to get like a hammer and chisel or something like that.
Well, what we also can do, I mean, it's gonna be really kind of dumb too, but I mean, I could look into trying to get a cart, just get a cart and just throw the thing in there. We could do that, right?
Someone suggested a cart earlier.
Oh yeah.
It was me.
Yeah. So you need to get this thing where exactly? You need to get to someone somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's a bar. I forget the name of it. But yeah, I gotta go to a bar.
But it's not in. What is it? Emberwood? Is that what it's called? Is the bar in Emberwood Village?
Yes, you were expected to meet River later today in Emberwood Village at the Red Lion Inn.
Okay, so if we just can all get, if we can all get back, because we can't get to the pits without leaving and going back, right? Like we're definitely not going through the city to get to the fight pits. There's no way, right? That's too dangerous.
Did not work out well.
The way
you can always try.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, that's the word. You could.
You're not.
You can certainly try.
You're not, and I will say that if you all try, I will not be joining you. So I think if we're going back to Emberwood Village and then trying to figure out how to get to the fight pits from there, then we can just drop it off wherever you're supposed to meet somebody, and you can just sit there with it until you're supposed to meet them.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Let's do that.
We can just figure out how to get out of here in a hurry and maybe not let anybody know we have. Then, we get home and then we're fine.
Yeah.
We do need
So
to
just
get there.
head
I
back
think,
and then turn in your stone.
Yeah.
And chill for the night. And then the next day, we can do something. I don't know.
We would miss the fights because that's tonight.
Yeah, we can miss it tonight and then go to it in 2 days.
About this time,
Get some dosh. Oop.
about this time, a now much more cleaned up and armored Petra Lang and her brother Ansem, clad in similar garb, sit down at the table, either beside you or across from you, each with a plate of food and some documents rolled up in scrolls. Sitting down beside you, Petra gives you all a warm smile.
She sit next to Scrawlneck.
Yes, she would be sitting next to Scrawlneck. Ansem is going to be sitting directly across from her, but she gives you all a warm smile. Thank you again for yesterday. It's because of you I'm able to have this meal right now. At that same time, her brother is eating his food, but doesn't at all take his eyes off the four of you, kind of giving you a suspecting glare. And despite your helping of his sister, he is still extremely suspicious of adventurers, or any type of foreign individuals in the city. He also looks at you and, after a big mouthful of oatmeal, states that, thank you for saving Petra. But I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask why you were here in the first place.
We told you yesterday, right? We were looking for the. Is it the spokes?
Wait, did we? Did we tell him?
You did. I did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did tell him.
Did we? Okay.
Out of character, I can't remember what it was called. Is it the spokes? Where we're trying to get through the fight pits?
Yeah, the spokes is where you're.
We
Yeah,
were looking for the spokes.
Mm-hmm.
We got lost. I thought I remembered because I used to live over here, and I got all turned around. We have a map now, so we know where we're going, but it's going to be a little tough to get.
Go ahead and give me a deception check.
And so that's going to be 12 plus deception. There's 2, so that's a 14.
Okay. For somebody who's lived here in the past, you should know that the spokes are on the opposite side of Drakenheim. Again, I appreciate you saving my sister, but what were you actually doing here?
We were looking for a map. We just got lost. It's been a long time. It's been a long, long time since I've been here. We got lost. Didn't have a map. Now that we do, you know, I know where to go.
Get
That's
into the fog.
There wasn't a haze when I lived here. It's very different now.
I love it.
Petra kind of turns and gives Ansem a gentle but firm smack. Ansem, enough. Enough of this. It's not time for this sort of talk. Still don't trust treasure hunters and adventurers in this city. Although I'm appreciative, I don't trust them. That being
Not a lot
said,
of treasures at this part of the city. Just got lost.
fair enough. But know that this entrance in particular is by purview of the Hooded Lanterns only. Not to say we don't allow adventurers to pass through here, given the right circumstances, but only those we can trust. Right now, we barely know why you are here. At this time, Petra kind of looks back and can somewhat sympathize with her brother, but is a bit more tactful in her response. I understand where my brother's coming from. We've had a lot of run-ins with adventurers, drawing out the ire of the Garmir, as well as other denizens in the city. It's simply caused more problems than it's worth. That being said, you four are capable. We wouldn't be opposed to offering you some work, and if you prove yourselves, perhaps he might reconsider not only allowing you safe passage through Shepherd's Gate, but also other assistance if you're willing to work with us. The Hooded Lanterns, our only goal is the reclaiming of the city. What is rightfully belonging to the people of this city. And to the people of Westamar. That is our ultimate goal. We're not here to cause problems. We're simply trying to reclaim our home.
What kind of work are you talking about? Because I'll tell you, regardless of what you decide to believe or not believe about what we're saying, we're not going to tell anybody about this stronghold. Like, that's, if you want to believe one thing that we'll ever say, we're not going to tell it. This, secret safe with us. But what kind of work, could we do to help build some trust here?
We're not concerned about the location. Everyone knows where the garrison is. They're welcome to try to assault it if they feel so tempted to do so. We're more concerned about the creatures threatening from other sides more so than any type of taking of this siege. However, certain supplies are difficult to come by, as I'm sure you've noticed in the city. I'll go ahead and be frank. We had previous dealings with an individual just north of here, on the outskirts of the city. An individual who was fashioning healing potions for our regiments, in the case of more dire situations. The shipments used to come on a regular basis. However, recently, those shipments have begun to falter, and in the last week or two have stopped coming altogether. We would greatly appreciate it if you would perhaps assist us in reestablishing that trade with this individual. By doing so, you'd be assisting not only the Hooded Lanterns, but we would put in the good word for you and perhaps allow you passage into the inner city without having to resort to more dangerous entry. If that's what you truly are desiring, is to get closer to the city. Because quite frankly, I don't believe you, just like Ransom said, I don't believe you were looking for the spokes. But whatever your reasons might be, we can certainly come to an arrangement.
What broke down the previous trade that you had with this individual? Why did it stop?
That's something we haven't figured out yet. We don't seem to know. It just begun to falter recently. This individual was trading in various goods with the Hooded Lanterns, as well as buying our services in a form of protection, if you will, from more dangerous creatures in the city. In return, they were supplying stocks of healing potions on a regular basis to the Hooded Lanterns.
And does this individual have a name, or do you know possibly where they hail from?
That depends. I don't want to divulge any more information until perhaps we've discussed it further, or you do agree to assist us. This individual has stated many times they value their privacy.
Sure, it's understandable.
I can find this work to be a symbiotic relationship that can benefit all parties. I would agree with everyone else if we would work with you, but I will wait to see what others say.
I mean, depending on what it is, I wouldn't mind as far as reestablishing a relationship with somebody. You know, a new face is always helpful when trying to rebuild, particularly a working relationship. So I'm not opposed to that either. But I don't want to get caught up in doing a whole bunch of extra stuff, especially considering, like, I mean, I don't need anything from here, you know. Like, I just want to get back to Emberwood.
Can I ask again why you all are coming to Drakenheim? This isn't exactly a pleasant place. People don't come to this city unless they have a very good reason. You don't have to divulge everything, but it helps when we share a level of honesty.
What's the name of the place that we started in?
Emberwood Village.
No, before, like literally session one. It was a King something, right?
It was Cult was the village you all started the camp.
Okay,
yeah, it was a tiny little former farm village.
Yeah. And we were contracted to escort a merchant from Cult to Emberwood, and that's how we got here.
Okay.
Some of us have
that was
unfinished
a month
business.
ago,
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Balsamic.
I said some of us just are trying to find some previous colleagues from before everything happened, and we haven't been here for quite a while, so everyone's just trying to kind of find their way at this point, and we all just happen to meet up with one another.
Okay. I think that's good enough for now. Ansem and I will share what we've experienced here with the Lord Commander. But at this time, if you're interested, we do need to see to this issue with the healing potions and the shipments in the near future. Then a couple weeks will be certainly completely run dry, and then if we have any dangerous situations resulting in near fatal injuries, we may not be able to save those individuals. Lives could be at stake if a large-scale incursion of monsters or individuals were to attack the garrison, and it is something we wish to discuss. But if you all have other business, I understand.
Well, look, is there a safe way to get here from Emberwood Village? Because that's where we've been kind of hanging out. We've got some stuff there that if we wanted to move our sort of home base to here instead of Emberwood, we need to get back there to get our stuff and then come back here. So is there a safer way? Because the way that we came, I can't remember, but Georgio would. The way that we came and just outlined our path, the way that we came was not very safe, right? We ended up this way. So obviously, like I said, looking for the spokes in entirely the wrong area. But, if you can give us safe passage between Emberwood and here, we can go back, we can get our stuff, we can come back here, and we can, just do whatever we want to do using this as our place of rest, where we would be much easier able to help you.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
It's a 19 on the dice. And persuasion, I've got +2, so it's a 21.
Ansem looks over at Petra. I don't like it, but we can't spare any of our men. He calls over one of the other hooded lanterns across from one of the other tables. Go get one of the modified maps showing our back routes to Emberwood Village. At this time, one of the other hooded lanterns runs out of the mess hall, and Petra looks at you all. He's going to get one of our route maps, our patrol maps. On there, we have a number of locations marked off as no-go zones, if you will. Areas we've identified as extremely volatile or filled with dangerous entities on a regular basis, but also highlighting routes of safer travel. The urban rangers of the hooded lanterns are quite adept at moving through the city and have marked off these routes back and forth, as we do have to make our rounds between here at the garrison and Emberwood Village quite often. And just about this time, the young man runs back in and brings them both a scroll, and Ansem begrudgingly hands it over to you all. It's a similar map, but far more up to date, at least on this side of the city, as well as venturing south to Emberwood Village, and then up towards the spokes as well. various areas that the Hooded Lanterns and their urban rangers have surveyed, marking off areas where there are large groups of monsters, marking off areas where potential gangs have congregated, as well as there's a mark north of where you all are, roughly north where you all are now, with a large circle on it. And then there is the a wolf-like symbol stamped at the gate where Petra had pointed out to you all previously was occupied specifically by the Garmir and their leader, the Lord of the Feast.
Oh shit.
Lord of the Feast.
Terrifying.
We'll give this map to you in good faith. That spot you see marked north is the location of our contact. He is in a location called Reed Manor. We do not understand why our regular shipments have stopped coming, as they usually come bi-weekly to the garrison, and we patrol those areas in particular. But we have a suspicion perhaps the Garmir may have moved around that area and have cut off ties to this individual. We ask that if you do have time, please look into this. In addition to this map, we can offer you some armaments that we can spare as compensation, as well as a rite of passage through Shepherd's Gate moving forward. Now understand, anything that you take within the city, a percentage of that value must be rendered to the Hooded Lanterns as caretakers of this city. That is without question. And he slowly hands over to the map to you, Georgio.
Okay, I'll take it and I'll say, look, you can trust us, I promise. We'll use this to get home, to get our things, gather our stuff up. We'll be back in maybe 2 or 3 days. Depends on how long it'll take us to safely travel back, collect our things, get back over here, settle our debts in Emberwood before we get up and move. Let's see. What do I have? Let me give him. I have a set of silverware.
Okay.
That air quotes was used by a king for his last meal, right?
Okay.
That's like a little.
Give him collateral,
right? Yeah, and I'm gonna give it to him and say, look here, this is like, yeah. I'll say, look, I'll meet you after when we get up to leave. I have something for you to show you that we're serious. I don't tell them what it is because I don't want to reveal that to everybody at the table that I even have this, but it's in my bag.
Okay.
I keep it with me, so.
Okay.
So just that'll be like, look, just to show you that we're serious. I'm going to give you something, and I guess I'm assuming, I may be wrong about this, but I'm assuming he might even know what it is, kind of thing. So like it might
Yeah.
be.
Is it in a pouch of some kind, or is it just loose silverware or something, or just a handful of loose pieces?
I don't know.
Okay.
I copied the description straight out of the
Okay.
trinkets guide that I rolled it from. But
Gotcha.
it can be however, whatever. If it would make sense that it would be in like a box or something, or in a certain, or maybe
Okay.
because of how I got it, it's just loose silverware.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think we didn't really go into that.
We'll assume it's probably in some sort of wooden box,
Mhm.
given
But
what we discussed already.
Yeah.
A fork and knife and soiled napkin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
There you
so
go.
So Ansem takes the box from you and carefully opens it up. And Petra peeks over. She doesn't seem to recognize anything about it, but excuse me. Ansem turns over one of the larger spoons, and on the back of one of the larger soup spoons, as you flip it over, you see a maker's mark on the back of the spoon. And it's specifically of the Von Kessel crest. Georgio, you would be familiar with this crest, as it's the one that was flown quite often everywhere in the cities, as well as you've seen it rarely in your, at this point in time, post-Civil War, as it did vary slightly between the lesser houses of the royal family of the Von Kessels, but you are very familiar with it. But some of the younger hooded lanterns wouldn't really recognize it. Petra briefly takes a glance, but pays it no mind. But Ansem looks at it more. It looks at it closely and recognizes that maker's mark. Where did you get these?
Just hold on to that. I'll be back for it, but know that we're serious.
Go ahead and give me one more persuasion check.
That is a 14 plus, I think it's still, what is it, still 2? Yeah, so it's a 16.
Nice, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
He carefully puts the silverware back in the box. Don't know why you have these. But I have a question for the Lord Commander later. For the time being, we will take these and take care of them, as they are what appears to be valuable items formerly in the ownership of the Von Kessels. I haven't seen anything like this since I was a young lad. We have not been able to get to the castle in many years. I'm sure the Lord Commander will want to see these. But for the time being, we will take care of them. And he puts the cover back on the box and hands it over to Petra, just nodding and basically saying, you know, we need to show the Lord Commander this item in particular and discuss with him. That being said, you all have updated information that will perhaps make things a little bit safer getting back to Emberwood Village and getting over to the spokes a bit easier. Not in completely safe, but
not safely, but yes,
a bit
Safer.
safer as you do have the routes provided by the urban rangers of the Hooded Lanterns, scouted out and verified quite recently and frequently. But at this point, you finish your breakfast and you exit into the grounds of the garrison, watching as some individuals are sparring, others are taking care of the various horses in the stables. You can hear the hard clanking of hammer against anvil as the smithy and the forges are beginning to fire up in the morning, as you feel the heat coming off of repairing various armaments, fashioning new new weapons as necessary, repairing any necessary metal materials that are necessary for the days and weeks to come. But at this point, what would you all like to do? Go ahead and pull the map back up for you.
I'm just gonna run to Petra, or we'll say Petra, and see if I can just secure a cart. Under the idea that, you know, we have a lot of stuff, it would just be much easier if we just had a cart for us to transport. We could be here much sooner. The way we can go ahead and hopefully get on over to Reed Manor to figure out what's going on with the lure of the feast.
Give me a persuasion check.
Uh, 15?
She looks at you all and says, "As much as I would like to give you, we simply do have none to spare at this point. In addition to that, the wheels of a cart would no doubt attract creatures as you begin to traverse the city. It's not something I would recommend. We generally only move large vehicles of such with larger caravans to protect them. I have no doubt that you all are capable fighters, but with the sheer numbers of the Garmir, you would be overrun in minutes."
That's understandable. Related to that, do you possibly have... I know you have a blacksmith close by. Is there any way that you could help us maybe procure a like a hammer and chisel, or more preferably a pickaxe or something of that sort?
I think we can spare something of that nature. She calls over one of the... I won't make you roll persuasion again for that one. It wasn't quite high enough to procure any vehicles, as those are hard to come by in the city. But she does offer some tools. One of the other hooded lanterns runs off again. Comes back a few minutes later with a pouch of various mason's tools from whomever wants to add that to their inventory. We can spare these if you need them.
Thanks. We'll definitely go ahead and bring them back, and I just, let them up if they come in a little, roll, and just put them away.
Okay.
So we have Mason's tools. I don't want to use that while we're here. So, is it, people are getting moving this morning, right? I mean, would it be inappropriate for us to go ahead and take off now that we have a map?
Yeah, they're not trying to detain you in any way.
Yeah. Okay.
They just can't assist with any type of major supplies at this point.
Yeah. So you guys ready to go? Because I've got all of my stuff, and I think we've got some pretty good stuff to work with once we get moving.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So how do you all plan to... I'm assuming you're going to probably try to follow one of the safer routes of the hooded lanterns are provided along on their map.
Yeah, question for you, Stopper. Does the map show just stuff around the Shepherd's Way Gate? Like, is it safe passage to and from Shepherd's Way Gate to various places, or does it kind of outline the whole city?
It outlines the portions of the city that the hooded lanterns have surveyed and scouted regularly, and that have patrols going through regularly. But you can see that kind of scouting grid that they've created on the map. I don't have like a image of it, but it kind of ends just a little ways on the map around here. The garrison that you guys are in right now is number 9 on the map. The actual gate is just a little.
Okay, so we're
right. You're just inside the city.
Okay.
Just to
I
the
thought- I was
east
thinking
at this
garrison's
point,
back
if you look just over the walls, you can see at number 10 the inscrutable tower
Mm-hmm.
looming over. It's the chunk of the tower hanging suspended by some arcane nature after being struck by the meteor, surrounded by that area in particular is extremely hazy, and seems to be Tim, you can sense it now being much closer than you were previously, that this area is in that direction is heavily infused with arcane energy. But basically they've kind of surveyed most of the eastern segments of the outer city. They are aware of the Garmir have control of this location here at Temple Gate, all the way into the major city, all around the Temple Ward, per your map, and all the way into this area. And they have a large, that's where that stamp of the wolf is, at number 11, which is noted on your map as the Cathedral of St. Vitruvio.
Okay.
And they've noted that there are Garmir patrols that run in close proximity to the wall, all the way down to Temple Gate and just before the beginning of the Dran River.
Okay. So nothing. Is there anything marked on this side?
Yes.
Because Emberwood's way down here, right? Like off the map over here.
So they've marked a few areas of just pockets of rats, gangs. They've marked that along Champion's Way, they put a symbol of what looks like a almost like the symbol of the sacred flame, which is a brazier with a fire on top, except this is slightly different. It has what looks to be a crudely drawn rock falling like a meteor. Cedric, you would recognize this more so than anyone on the map. It is a crudely drawn version of the followers of the falling fire, the kind of the splinter religion of the sacred flame. And they've kind of drawn a path along Champion's Way, and you also see a much larger stamp on the number 13 here, which is the St. Selena's Abbey. And you, Georgio, would recognize that location as it used to be essentially when you were here as a small boy. You were never allowed to go there. It was essentially an insane asylum.
Okay.
Somewhat of a hospital, more so a psychiatric hospital, if you will.
Situation.
Right. Down in the spokes, you see a number of red flags in various areas, but also some guidelines of where to go and where not to go, where to use the back alleys or perhaps take the rooftops up above to avoid detection by various creatures that seem to inhabit those areas. And you see in the spokes, specifically, you see a dagger in that area, and it kind of coincides with the dagger that you saw in the bar and where Blackjack Mel had told you Buckledown Row was.
Okay. Awesome. Cool.
So it just kind of clarifies where some of the hotbed points, at least where the Hooded Lanterns have patrolled and or have a strong understanding of what's in those sections of the city. But towards the center of the city, they have the crater marked Obviously, and it's without a doubt you can see where it is. But they've said the areas around the castle, they have them circled, but they have a big question mark on certain areas. The Queen's Park Garden, Castle Draken, Old Town, essentially everything further east of Temple Ward and the Cathedral of St. Vitruvio is just a complete question mark. They have no idea what's there.
That's pretty good. I mean, with all this, I think we ought to just get moving, head back to Emberwood, and then, I mean, we might be able to do everything we need to today. If we can move quick enough, I don't know. But if this is accurate and we can move quick enough through some safe spots in the city, we might be able to get back to Emberwood and then get out to the spokes tonight, so we don't have to wait any longer.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Cedric, you good to go? Scrawlneck seems to be approving as well, so let's rock and roll.
Too busy guzzling his grog.
You all given a number of general supplies as a parting effort as well as being fed a warm meal, prepared for the day, having nursed your wounds and recovered, begin to move south, following the noted areas provided by the hooded lanterns. On the way back, I'm going to have you all roll one set of d6s for me.
Nice.
And that will be all, since you... Okay.
I have rolled a 6.
Okay.
1.
Okay.
Is it just a regular D6?
Yeah.
Ooh, 6.
Right.
2.
All right. As you all are walking, you're just maybe half a mile from the Dran River. You notice a small shop to your left. Both Tim and Giorgio, this catches your eye. The shop is heavily damaged. It looks like it had been looted at some point. But you notice among the papers, particularly you, Tim, a bit of scribbling on one of the parchments. And as you're walking by, you notice what looks like those don't appear to be normal scribblings. Just your arcane training, you notice specific runes out of the corner of one of the parchments. Do you take a closer inspection of it?
Oh, you know I do.
Okay. All right. You lean down and take a closer inspection. Among the burned up scraps and shredded papers and chunks of waterlogged and burnt wood, you pull out a small unfolded scroll that's a bit crumpled on one end, but you do find it. And you notice now that you've got it fully removed, it is a bit wet, but its arcane nature has kept it intact. On it, and you, upon closer inspection, I won't make you roll for this, given that you guys rolled 2 6s. You notice this is a scroll of invisibility.
Oh, fuck. That's sick. Okay.
So you can add, one of you can add that to your inventory.
I'll bet. Anxiety, goddammit. Oh, that's funny. Okay.
But under your feet, you find a mimic. No.
Oh, fuck you.
No, I'm kidding.
The paper's a mimic.
No.
All right, so roll.
So essentially it's a singular casting of invisibility.
So I'm looking for it as inventory. I'm not seeing it, so I'm just typing it in.
A custom scroll.
Yeah, it says potion, cloak, and ring. The other one doesn't come up, so I guess I'll do a custom one.
Yeah, you can say potion then. It's gonna work the same way.
Okay, I do.
It's essentially a casting of invisibility. And it will require. Well, no, it wouldn't require concentration because it's an item. So it's a concentration-free casting of invisibility. But
Nice.
as invisibility states, the moment you take the attack action or any type of action, the spell does fail, but it does last an hour, potentially.
Okay. Cool.
So,
hot.
Anyway, with your lucky glance there, you go all do make your way swiftly to Styx's ferry. He's there awaiting anybody on your side of the river. Today it is a bit clearer, but there is a slight mist in the air this morning from the heavier rains the night before. And you can still see and feel the haze suffusing this area. But as you approach, you hear as Styx stretches out his gaunt, loosely leathered, flesh-covered palm, expecting some form of payment.
Okay. What was it? It was last time. It was metal, right? It was just
Just, he's like a crow. It's just anything shiny, I think.
anything. Okay.
From what you remember, it was essentially you saw a number of just all manner of metallic objects. In his
right.
pouch.
I think I just gave him copper. I think it was what I gave him the last time. I think I just gave him. Did I pay for everyone, or did I just do my? I think I paid for everyone.
I think you paid for everyone.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
You were
Fuck it.
insane.
I'll do it again. I'm just gonna give him 5 copper. I'll do 5 copper each.
You drop the coins into his palm. And he gently moves them up and down in his hand. He takes one between his thumb and his index finger, and the one remaining tooth he has in the corner of his mouth, tries to bite into it softly. Feeling the resistance, goes ahead and drops it into his. As far as you know, he can't tell the difference. He just drops the coins into his pouch and begins to prepare the vessel to ferry you across the Dran River.
I love this man.
So you all climb aboard Styx's
Yeah,
ferry.
roll.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I said, yeah, we're rocking and rolling. Let's keep moving.
Okay. You take Styx's ferry, and it's a short respite as he moves you over the contaminated waters, the murky, slightly glimmering water, with bits of what looks like would otherwise be octarine and metallic bits of shimmer just below the surface of the sludge-like river of the Dran. Feeling the warm dampness of the early morning, the sun just beginning to crest higher into the sky, but it is heavily obscured by the haze and the clouds that seem to be ever present over the city of Drakenheim, as if the city itself is in a perpetual state of gloom and doom. You come to the other side of the Dran River, closer to your destination, easily able to disembark from the ferry, begin another leg of your journey back towards Emberwood Village, taking the routes through the back alleys, occasionally over intact retaining walls and through makeshift building tunnels, avoiding what you have noticed is a few various dregs and other creatures throughout the city. Their visages ghastly at the very least and stomach-wrenching at the worst, barely resembling what is left of humanity. But you are able to use the provided information from the Hooded Lanterns and head safely back towards Emberwood Village, arriving about, we'll say, early to mid-morning, back on the north west corner of Emberwood Village. I'll go ahead and pull that map up for you all. There we go. All right. So you guys essentially exit right about here on the north side of the village, coming over just a babbling brook, gently connected to an offshoot of the Dran River. What would you all like to do?
Oh shit, we're here. All right.
Very fast.
I went swimming late.
Nice.
Um,
Get out.
Yeah, so- we should bust up this big rock we got and make it easy for Tim to carry. Because as of now, Tim can't carry this whole thing, right? That's the whole point.
Right.
I'm frail.
Yeah. So, if we can safely, I mean, how funny would it be if that just blew up and killed us all?
Oh my god, don't fuck.
Hilarious.
At this point, I'm about to just say fucking just leave it because I'm just gonna stand out here with it until I fucking meet this fucking chick. So I might as well just fucking leave it. I don't know. My thing is that if it's hard enough to fucking break that we can't even break the thing off of me, how likely we're gonna fucking break the actual delirium in it? I don't know. I mean, fucking knowing Stopper is gonna be a fucking damn mimic. Oh, I fucking know.
If it was a mimic, he'd already be dead.
Yeah. Look,
He's waiting. He's waiting. Once we pop open the stone, he's like, I can get out.
Do we want to try to bust it apart? I think part of the mason's tools are like a hammer and chisel and stuff.
Yeah, I think that absolutely it would be not too difficult to do. And also very helpful to have it easy enough that Tim can hold on to it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Let's give it a shot then. I'm down.
So what I would suggest is if we're coming in from the north side, if we all go like all the way in the corner, kind of where the cabin that we had been renting was, because I think during the day it's not very active. Is that right? Because it's just like sleeping quarters.
In that segment of Emberwood Village, I mean, are you trying to be covert about
Not
work?
Really.
Okay.
I just don't want to do it. Like, I'm not going to do it in the middle of the town square, right?
With a big chunk of delirium.
If somebody walks by and is like, "Hey, what's that you got there?" I'm not going to be like, "Well,
Right.
you see, it's the biggest piece of delirium anyone's ever seen." Like that's a little bit conspicuous. So I think if we were away from just the random passerbys, it would be nice.
Okay. You just give me a quick perception check.
That's going to be 12. No, perception I have higher than that. Hang on. That's a 9 plus my perception is 4, so 13.
13? Okay.
Yeah.
It takes you a minute to kind of find a... Things here are kind of spread out. Some of the homes are not in good shape, but you're able to find just an area behind a wall, kind of mostly obscured from the main paths through Emberwood Village, that you should be able to work in relative secrecy. And most people at this point in time are either heavily engaged in their morning routines, or have not gotten up due to festivities of the previous evening or other more pressing business. Are any of you proficient with masonry tools?
Not me.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Where would I see it? Just if I find a background?
It's just on bottom left of your sheet. Proficiencies, you'll see tools.
Thieves tools, tinker tools, woodcarver tools. No.
Okay.
No.
I am tinkering with stone.
Not quite.
Might help a little bit.
Wink, wink.
What's the difference between wood and stone, really?
Well,
just a few letters. It's the same
Well,
thing,
if-
just a few letters.
If I break a piece of stone over the back of your head, it's going to hurt a lot more than a piece of wood.
I know.
Neither really.
A red cedar can really fuck you up.
So
Yeah,
can a
you'll get
piece of
knocked out
granite.
the
All right, well, I'll drop a piece of plywood on your back, and I'll drop a piece of marble on your back. We'll see which one recovers faster. So specifically, how are you intending to remove? Just give me a bit more detail on how
Well, I
you're
think-
intending to do it.
I think, and this is just intuition, I am no mason, but I think if we just, like, if it's this huge stone, right, and then embedded in this huge stone is the delirium crystal, right?
Yeah, it's a piece of it's a chunk of metal, rock, and the crystal on top. Essentially,
Okay.
kind of used almost like a setting of a stone in a ring.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, it's a chunk, but it's clearly on the edge of this thing,
Right. It's not
So I was
deep
just
in it.
thinking, just smash up as much of the non-delirium crystal as we can.
Okay.
Even if we can get it down to 2-to-1 rock to delirium, that's still, you know, if it's like a softball sized delirium chunk in a 2-foot radius chunk of metal, right?
Okay.
Like if we can just get it down to where it's like, you know, something that you can hold in both hands,
Mhm.
where it's mostly metal and then still a little bit of delirium, that would be enough that we need it small enough that Tim can walk around with it. Maybe
Okay.
put it in a small pouch that he carries instead of just walking around with this giant piece of delirium.
Okay.
Because I believe we intend to leave him, right? We're gonna head off to the spokes.
Yeah, I'll meet you guys
and
there
see if
after
he can
this.
Figure out a way to to safely come behind us and meet up with us if he needs to. I don't even know. I mean, like I don't know if he needs to be there. It's a cage match, right? So it's not like he's not gonna be fighting.
I want to see some people get punched.
Yeah. So if he wants to come and watch and check it out, sure. As far as getting there and getting to know the people there and kind of just figuring out what all is over there, because it seems like a really interesting entrance into the underbelly of the city, right? Like that's where the fun stuff happens. Anyway, so that's the goal, is to just break off enough of the stuff that we don't need, the
Okay.
nondescript metal that it's embedded in.
All right. I'll give you two options. One person can use the tools to try to excavate it. And it may take longer. Or two people can assist. Or one person can assist, and it might shorten the time it takes to remove the delirium. But the person who assists will need to roll a Constitution saving throw to avoid.
Getting your fingers smashed.
No, not so much getting your fingers smashed, but coming in contact with the delirium as you assist in holding it in place.
If I fucking just say just one of us do it.
What I was gonna say is, Tim, I know that you're mostly robotic, right? So like, I think that you would be able to.
Well,
I don't know if that works.
It doesn't, because I remember I asked Stopper about that when we the first shard delirium that we got. I said even with my status, he said, yeah, it doesn't matter. It's like if you touch it, that's it. So even with me being metal,
okay,
I'm still gonna get it.
You're still a living creature.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Delirium
transcends.
I mean, can we put like drape anything over the exposed delirium?
I mean, you can wear a glove,
Or
technically.
cloth or anything.
Right, you can wear a glove and cover your hands. It just, again, you coming directly in contact with unrefined delirium generally results in contamination.
You can refine delirium? Hold on now.
So
That's a
here,
whole new thing.
here
Anyway,
it's like it's caffeinated versus decaf. Oh god. Here's my opinion.
I think it's probably not that bad.
My thing would be is that, yeah, we can have two people do it, but I'm okay with doing it one, because at the end of the day, honestly, what's gonna happen is that Ver's gonna come and I'm just like, here you go, and she's just gonna be like, what do you want? I'm like, you didn't say anything about how I get it here. It's here. There you go. You didn't specify. I brought it to you. So that's my opinion. So if I'm the one that's going to be doing it because you guys go, that's fine. I'm just going to chisel and I'll have the conversation with her, because at the end of the day, I delivered the package. I didn't say how I was going to deliver it.
Okay, so you're saying take all the time we need because we can leave and you can just work all day on just chipping off as much metal as you can.
Yeah, I'm fine with doing that. Yeah, I mean, we're in a inconspicuous enough place. I'm okay with doing that, unless one of you guys don't care and want to stay with me. That's fine, but I'm okay with doing it just by myself. That's a-okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Works for me.
So what's the plan?
I think so. Is this a strength check to try and chisel this thing?
Depending on how you go about it. That's why I'm asking how you're going about it. So
okay, Tim, if you have a good idea, because I'm just looking at your 6.
That's true.
That will take you a very long time. You know, so like, I mean, how about this? Just to not leave you alone trying to chisel off as much metal as you can with your robot arms. If this thing is big enough where one of us can start, like say me or Scrawlneck, right? Just take it and just smash it as much as we can on the side that doesn't have it, you know, because like I have a +4, he's got +5, right? Like I know, like we're strong, so like we can knock off a majority of this thing without needing to be very without much finesse, right? And then you can kind of idly just kind of chip off the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing too, is that if you go too strong with it, I mean, yeah, I get it. That's a good idea, but like I was just gonna go like, tap it, because
Okay.
That's what I guess.
So you're gonna try to finesse around the.
I guess what I'm saying is if we have this huge thing, let's knock off half of it.
You want
to? Let's just knock off like the half that we're like, just the back half, just crush it, right? Just see what we can do to get as much of it off as we can, and then we say, okay, this is enough that you can handle this. Now, if you want to keep whittle away with it, go ahead.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scrawlneck, do you want to do this or?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's swing.
Okay.
Let's swing it, baby.
Let him smash it one then.
So are you gonna hit it with the battle axe, or what are you doing?
You have a pickaxe, right? They gave us a pickaxe.
They gave you
Mason's
Mason's tools. I don't know if Mason's tools has a pickaxe in it.
It doesn't. It comes with a chisel and a hammer, though.
Okay.
Okay.
So specifically, what are you using to hit this thing?
chisel and hammer. I
Okay.
I
guess.
was gonna say if
Yeah,
Scrawlneck, if you said the pickaxe, the battle axe, I would say whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not just use the battle axe
Yeah,
as a front. Let's use real tools for
Okay.
this.
Hold on now.
Go ahead. Give me a strength check. Plus go ahead and give me a strength check. And then we'll go ahead and also add a d6 to it.
Okay.
Let's go.
So d20 plus your strength modifier plus a d6.
9 plus 7. So. Yeah, that's 16, right?
16.
16?
Yeah.
You go to swing at this thing and you make contact,
Plus
but
a
you...
D6, right?
Yeah, okay, go ahead and add the d6.
Oh.
I thought that was with the d6.
18.
18? You go ahead and you swing and you make good contact with it, but you make contact with a section that's heavily metal. And you feel the hammer strike true, but it doesn't seem to do a lot to it. I'll give you 2 more attempts to try to knock some material off of this thing.
My man, you're gonna have to fucking get a nat 20 on this, I think.
And before this
fuck.
happens, I'm gonna pat Scrawlneck on the back and I'm like, you got this. Just put a little bit more into it. And
There you go.
basically just give him
That's pep talk, baby.
a blessing so he can add a D4 to his roll.
Okay,
love
nice.
it.
I like
There
it.
you go.
It's all right. You can roll the same thing, then roll a d6 plus a d4.
Okay. All right. 10. So it's 17.
Oh.
Okay.
And the D6.
19
Okay.
and D4. Come on.
It's at least a 20.
It's
gone. Hold on.
D4 is
He's gonna roll a d4 in here.
How anticlimactic.
Suspense is killing me.
It's gone.
And it's gone.
And it's gone. Okay.
So 22?
Yeah. So the 22, this time you make good purchase in it, and you feel the reverberation as you strike more rock. You see a large lump of rock come off the bottom of this thing, almost taking probably a third or more of the material off of the
Good shot.
bottom of it with this strike. You got one more opportunity to take a good lump of material off of it.
Okay.
Strike tried and true, friend. You got this.
Oh boy. Okay. 18.
18?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
18. And 22.
All right. Second
Yeah.
strike again.
You get-
A hearty
you get-
strike. You hit it well and truly square. I would say at
quick.
this point you've probably taken off 2/3 of the material with 2 good
Oh.
strikes.
Do you
Um,
get the plus the extra D4 on only his next roll, or is it for a time
Just on the
period?
next
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Was it guidance? Or okay, yeah. You can recast guidance if you want to. You can reuse it as many times as you want.
Oh, that's up to you.
It is a cantrip, isn't it?
Yeah, you can use it as much as you want.
Well, so there would be
You
no
can
reason
spam
why
the
I
shit
wouldn't.
out of it, yeah. So yeah, if you want to add
Massage
another
his shoulders
D4,
beforehand.
if you want to add another D4 to it, you can.
Put another one, baby.
Okay. Okay.
Give us a little bit extra, see how much we can get.
Got big hands, so it's a good
4.
massage.
2, so 24. At this point, you've probably taken off about 80% of the material. So you've left
Good for us.
a relatively manageable chunk of material. Also, most of the rock has crumbled off of this chunk of meteor, leaving most of the remaining material around the delirium, mostly rock. But you see there's several large chunks of metal. And given how much force you took on that first strike, and it did nothing. This is... in fact, is anybody proficient in nature or survival?
Not me.
No, not. It's sorry because I looked at. It's weird because I'm at +4 for it, but I'm not proficient. So
Okay.
no.
Right.
Yeah, you would need
Should
formal
I
training
answer?
to recognize
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Never mind.
None of
But
us.
generally, you can tell that this is not terrestrial metal that has come off of this rock. This is meteoric iron that has come off, and it has a unique quality to it, is all you can really tell at a glance. It may or may not have some additional value to it. If somebody trained in this manner with special artisanal training might be able to identify it. But you do have a much more manageable chunk of the meteor that is carryable by even a small child at this point, as long as it was covered properly. And then you do have several lumps. I would say about 3 to maybe 4 pounds of this, good chunks of this meteoric metal that you're also anybody can add to their inventory. You can just put in their meteor metal something, just custom item. You can say, let's say 5 pounds. And the rest is just a lump of charred earth and grease and probably a bit of rat fur and mud.
Scrawlneck put in the work.
I'll take the mud.
Okay. You can add a lump of you can add a lump of muddy rat fur to your inventory.
Straight mud, homie.
Yeah, the DC on that was 20. As it was a
Yeah.
heavily infused
Yeah.
with what was at one point probably was molten metal.
Yeah.
So it had been cooled and essentially was like worked
Forged
metal.
around.
Yeah, very very hardened metal. I value to somebody who could use it and refine it.
Good work, team.
Hooray!
So at this point, what would you all like to do?
I don't even think you need to refine this anymore. You're, Tim.
Yeah, if you're saying a small child can pick it up, which my strength, I am a small child. I think we're good.
You do have you have less than the strength of a commoner, actually.
That's fine. I'm okay with it. It's totally fine. I thought it was just so funny. I fucking rolled so damn well, and then when it came to strength, I was like, oh,
Well, I
okay,
guess we'll just
this
put
is
that all here.
okay. That's how we're gonna do it. All right, that's fine.
Well, there would have been other options to extract it, but that's why I was asking what you guys were planning to do. That's why I was asking.
Fucking burst strength through that shit,
Look,
baby. We fucking did
we're
it.
not all that smart.
Tim is. He could have figured it out. He's a lot
I
more
like to
brain than
watch the
Braun.
Big Hulk man smash things.
Whatever works.
All right. So
oh shit.
at this point, you all have extracted the crystal of delirium. You've been successful in your mission to the Rat's Nest Tavern, and I'm assuming you're planning to at some point proceed to the Spokes and up to Buckledown Row, and Tim is planning to at least in the next few hours, meet with his contact River
I mean her in the bar, right?
So
at the Red Lion Inn.
what,
right,
what time,
yeah,
what
okay.
time is it now during the day? 'Cause I know that we talked about this was going to take us a while to do.
I would say it's about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so
10 or 11, yeah, somewhere in that range.
Tim, do you know what time you have to meet?
It's whenever the fights start. I thought it was like 6 or 7.
So it is in the evening? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm fine with just chilling here. You guys go do what you want to do, because I only have one other thing that I want to do that I mean, you'll hear what it is anyway, but it's nothing major. I can deal with the other thing that I want to do the next day, but I have to get the money first. So yeah, I'm okay with you guys doing what you gotta do. I'll chill here at the end. That's fine. I'm just gonna sit in the chair. I'm just gonna go blank mode, just chill at the fucking stone.
Sleep mode.
Essentially, kind of. I could do that. Yeah.
Power down a little bit.
I don't sleep.
All right. Is there anything you all would like to do, or are you going to start heading towards Buckledown Row?
I
What do you guys do? I'm just going to go to the bathroom.
Sure. I want to. Let's get out of here. Let's go. I think the earlier we get there, the better, because we can kind of figure out what's going on. So Cedric, if you're coming too, right?
Yeah, at this point, we're not doing anything else, right?
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me pull
We got our fancy map. We've lied enough to these hooded lantern guys. Let's go.
All right. So at this point, you're maybe, I would say probably a couple hours travel up to the spokes, and particularly Buckledown Row, which is marked on your map at this point. Roughly in this location, per that map. So are you guys attempting to follow the path of the hooded lanterns, or
whatever looks the safest? Because I do not want to fight anything. The last time we did, I almost died. I do not want to, like, anywhere that looks like it might be kind of dangerous. I would say avoid it. So if it takes us 3 hours instead of 2, we have left early enough in the morning that I think it's fine.
Okay. Go ahead, the three of you, give me a group stealth check. As I'll go ahead and, well, some of you will, I'll go ahead and give you advantage because you are following the map.
Okay.
But some of you have disadvantage due to armor.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you? Is that at disadvantage?
You can roll again, Cedric, because you. Oh well, you have.
No, so Cedric and I are both at disadvantage. Scrawlneck is not. So Scrawlneck.
That was a straight natural 1.
Okay. Gotcha.
Well.
All right.
Let me roll mine just to see.
Roll a 10.
Mine's this is not a disadvantage, right? Mine's a 10. So 2 10s. Yeah, we're real good. We're real good at this. 2 10s and a nat 1.
It's not the worst roll, but yeah.
Well, that is the worst roll.
Well,
By
for you,
definition.
at this point, go ahead and all of you give me a D6 roll, just straight D6. Okay.
I have rolled a 6.
Okay.
I hope that big number does not mean big dangerous.
Okay. You all are able to follow the path with relative ease. Despite the heavy clunking of armor, you do not encounter any creatures.
Oh my god.
Okay. Big numbers, good numbers.
But blessed GM.
See, I still don't have a feel of how that number chart works, because I was under the impression that like there were 6 options kind of most of the time, and like you just averaged our numbers or did something, eeny meeny miny mowed it. I couldn't really figure it out.
Depends
But it
on the
seems like
situation.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it is different.
It's
every time.
situational.
Okay.
So you are able
Anytime you
to
ask us for all these
covertly,
tricks, I
with
get
the help
stressed.
of the map and the routes that were given to you on the Hooded Lantern's scout map, you were able to avoid, despite the fact that you are quite clunky moving through these areas. You do encounter a handful of creatures, but you're able to take cover as they move through and around, avoiding open areas, moving up towards the spokes, unlike previously where you had been following up the main paths in direct open areas. So this time, it takes you a bit longer. By the time you arrive, I would say it's probably closer to 3 o'clock. You're reaching...
Very slow.
Yeah, you're very slow because every time that armor clanks and echoes, you're having to stop
Okay.
because to avoid things. But you are able to avoid them.
Good for us. Go team.
So I would say about 3, maybe 4 o'clock, you arrive. And you come up on... You start to see people, humans, that pay you no mind in general. They see all kinds in this area. So you begin to suspect that you're coming towards a more populated area. You head closer north. You're reaching an area where most of the buildings are intact. In fact, some of them are even 2 stories tall. Occasionally a 3-story area with kind of rooftop areas. You see above your head various makeshift bridges connecting some of the buildings together as you get deeper into the spokes. Georgio, you would notice on top of some of these buildings are various individuals, some of them paying no mind to travelers, others watching very intently as people move through the streets, all of them armed with either crossbows or knives, daggers, swords, or things of that nature. And as you move into this more populated area, you come to a head with a barriered entry. Each side of this entry, there is a large half-orc on either side, heavily armed to the teeth with great swords, and wearing one wearing half plate, the other wearing studded armor. Perhaps not made for them specifically, but still heavily armored and prepared. One of which you notice just at a glance with your perception, your passive perception, you see a small makeshift crest kind of drawn onto and patched onto the studded leather armor of a thorned rose of sorts. And you all come upon now Buckledown Row. And we'll go ahead and you all arrive in Buckledown Row as you see a plethora of different peoples, races, all sorts of individuals, bars left and right, quite rowdy bars, similar to the Skull and Sword that you saw, but it's still pretty early. I mean, mid to early afternoon, and it is already quite rowdy in some of these bars. loud, boisterous music playing in some. Others, clearly bar fights breaking out spontaneously, drinks being flung, glasses breaking, a variety of different linguistic obscenities being slung across the streets at each other in various languages. It's an interesting place, to say the least, but it is most definitely the area you are looking for as you come across the cross streets, marked carefully on your map. But you all arrive in Buckledown Row, and I actually do have an overhead map for you. Find it. Ha! There you are. All right. You all arrive in Buckledown Row, and the tokens don't really mean anything. They're just there for placeholders.
A bunch of people.
Yeah, just people in general. You arrived here. You can see the two half-orcs standing guard at a distance directly across, maybe half a mile the other way. Don't use scale to anything. You see another group of individuals guarding the far end of the entrance to this particular area. You can see the buildings are not in great shape, a lot of them, from their exteriors, but probably better than the Skull and Sword was in Emberwood Village. But this place is definitely a den of ne'er-do-wells and ruffians and all manner of people from all walks of life. And it doesn't seem like any of them pay you too much mind, as they are either engaged in other pursuits of various levels of legality. As you move through and into Buckledown Row, what would you all like to do?
Tim told us who to look for. No, not Tim. Blackchick Mel told us who to look for. Did I take notes? I do not have the name. There's somebody told us to look for.
I don't have it either.
Check my notes. Hold up.
Was there? Am I remembering right? Did you tell us that there was the name of someone to look for?
No. He just said, "Come and find him."
Oh, he said he would be here.
Yeah, he said he would be here.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's just look around for Blackchick Mel.
Okay.
Is there? I mean, this is a pretty big place, right?
Right. You see, there's a. Oh, I'm sorry. Blackjack Mill. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my notes. He mentioned to you all that he would endorse you, and normally, in order to be given permission to the fighting pits, a group or an individual would have to pay homage to the queen, which is normally a sum of 100 gold, provided at the wishing well, if you will.
That's what it was. Yeah, it was at the
right.
Wishing Well.
I'm looking at my notes.
I remember. Now.
But he said he would spot you 50, having noticed you didn't turn him in, and Cedric having cast Charm Person on him during the card game. So you had a good rapport at the time, but you would need to deliver a sum of 50 gold to the well.
Okay. So where we come in, I mean, I see it on the map, but is it obvious to us where the well is, or should we start asking around? I guess that's what I would do, is look for somebody who's like somebody who's like standing guard at like a bouncer. And be like, hey man, I'm looking for the wishing well. You know.
Go ahead and give me. You can give me either a perception check at disadvantage, or you can give me a general charisma check.
Think perception would be better for me, so it's a 10 and 4, so it's a 14 on perception.
Okay.
And then my other one would be a 15, so 14 is what I've got.
Okay. Given that roll, you don't initially see anyone who looks like a bouncer other than the entrances to the various bars and entertainment areas. You hear loud music. It's very hard to see specific things unless you gave a closer inspection. But you are able to kind of wander around through the area. And you notice a number of individuals kind of heading around the back of this building towards the far side, and heading back through this alleyway down a set of stairs in this location. Coming with what you can see with that roll, you would see that they have bags of something either in hand or strapped to their waist. That don't appear to be supplies, look to be perhaps a bit heavy and metallic. As they head down this area towards the northeast corner of Buckledown Row. From where you guys are now, you're roughly, I would say you're just on this other side of this fallen tree, between these two bars. This busted up street lamp that at one point probably carried some oil lanterns, but that they've long been extinguished and covered in grime, and are not lit at this time.
Mm-hmm.
But you see over in this area towards the other end, people are heading down a back alley, carrying what could or could not be bags of money.
Okay, let's just wave to Cedric and Scrawlneck and just say, looks like this might be the right direction, and just head over there. Still looking around for anybody who might be able to give us direction.
Yeah.
I think I can put your character tokens on the map here. Reckon you can just give me a representation of where you guys are at. Just drop you all right there. And there. And there. And you should be able to move.
Yeah, I've got mine.
Okay.
Just looking around, do people have like weapons out, or are they pretty casual right now?
Most are pretty casual. It seems like unless you start something, it doesn't look like anyone's trying to actively look for trouble with strangers. There's a lot of drunks just wandering through the streets. And it looks like, most of the fights are generally just people being stupid. Misunderstandings and things of that nature. But it doesn't look like anyone's, picked up on you specifically.
Okay.
If you'd like to give a perception check, you can, or if you want something more detailed than that, but just a general perception check.
No, I mean, that's fine. I just want to... I don't know if I should be carrying a weapon, but if people are...
everybody in here is armed.
Fighting amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if people are just fighting amongst
do we need
themselves...
to be wielding weapons to look threatening enough that people won't fuck with us, but probably not, right?
Essentially, standing at 8 foot tall if I need to carry a weapon.
Yeah.
Huh?
we are two Goliaths.
Fine, why not?
Hold
Oh,
on.
never mind. I'm apparently blind.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's a rowdy area. I mean, you can tell everybody's armed. That's about it. You see there's a bunch of people up on the rooftops and stuff that are generally just kind of looking out for anybody being excessively stupid. But other than that, you don't see anybody like clocking you.
It's fine. I have a shield and mace.
Yeah.
Whatever.
There is visibly, obviously, security.
Okay.
JJ, that's what you're saying? Like, people up on top of buildings, like, as, like, watchmen, kind of?
In general, yeah.
Okay. When we get up here, closer to these stairs, does it become more obvious that this is the way to go?
What you notice at this point is you see people coming and going through this area, and specifically, how far are you going down? It drops in elevation as you come down through this back alley.
Okay, so if we turn this, these are the two half-orcs you said, right? That are guarding.
The two half-orcs were at the bottom. This one is yeah. This one is a large human man, and then there is a half-elf, a very stout half-elf individual on the other side of them.
Okay, what is in this direction? Is this just back out into the spokes again?
This heads closer towards the walls of the city and the crater.
Okay, so this is out of Buckledown Row and back into just the spokes.
Right.
Okay.
You can tell they're generally watching to make sure something inhuman doesn't really come this way.
Okay, so if we're turning the corner, and this blacked out as a building, right? Like I'm walking along the side of a building.
Yeah, that's the backside of a building.
I would come so it goes down it looks sort of like
here.
A wall right
this
here.
is a wall, yes.
This is the wall.
This is like a retaining wall, and then it gets taller as you come towards the base of it here, and then there's a gap where it's kind of collapsed right here.
Okay.
And then from there's the corner of the building and a handful of barricades, but there is a narrow path that, single file you could walk around the edge of the building.
Okay. I would be wary turning the corner.
Okay.
But that's about it, I think. I'm just peeking around looking,
Okay.
Again, looking for the well, following people, sort of, it seems like.
Okay.
That's about it.
You see a number of individuals in this area. There's a dwarven man right by the well, and he seems to pull out a small pouch of things, and he's followed up by an individual that was standing guard by the door here. He takes out the pouch, you see this man kind of clock him, watching intently as he reaches out over the well and kind of looks side to side and just drops the pouch down into the well and then turns away. And this individual that was standing by the door then returns to his position, watching the back entrance of this bar, but clearly watching this dwarven man in particular, as he proceeded to drop something into the well.
So this guy is watching very intently.
This individual, yes, is watching very intently.
Okay. So I'm going to wait here-ish for this guy to finish, and then leave. If he leaves, or for him to finish what he's doing, right?
Right.
And then go up to this guy and be like, "Hey, is this the wishing well for the queen?"
Benzo's asking, "What do you want?"
We're a couple of Mel's guys. Blackjack Mel. He sent us here. He said he would cover half our tribute, but I want to make sure we're doing the right thing here. He didn't really give us any more information.
You come to pay homage to the queen?
Yes, sir.
Good man. Well's over there. Make sure you pay in full. Queen don't like being skimped on. she'll know. And that's all he says.
Yeah, I figured I wouldn't get more. So it's 100 per person, or
No,
is it 100 for us as a group to be here?
right.
And then Mel said he would cover 50 of it. So if we can scoop together 50, we're good.
Mhm.
Assuming Mel is here.
Right.
Which, now I don't know. How much? I only have 25 gold.
I have 66.
Do we have? Scrawlneck, how much money do you have? Do we have 100 together? Can we put together 100?
I've got 57.
57.
Looking at this well, how deep is it?
Are you right up on the well, or are you just looking from a distance?
I'm gonna walk over
yeah.
and just kind of like go over, and I have like the change in my hand, and I'm just gonna look in to say like, "Oh, there's a lot more in there. I thought you must have a lot of fighters for this."
The man that was watching the door kind of walks up. This individual has left at this point and is walking back towards, or has walked into the bar through this door here. Are you right up on the well, or are you're just looking from this distance where you're at now?
No, I'm gonna go ahead and move up
Yeah.
right on the well and just be like,
Scrawlneck, you with us?
Okay.
man, just trying to see our odds.
Bill, are you moving with us on this?
So you're taking a close look at the well now at this point.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Oh my god, I'm dumb as fuck. 15.
Okay. Not the worst roll.
Not at all.
It's a deep well. You see what appears to be a glimmer of some sort of liquid down about maybe 50, 60 feet down the well.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
pretty deep well. But something that looks relatively water-like down below. But you don't see any sign of the previous item the dwarven individual had dropped down the well. All you see is just shadows about 50, 60 feet down. At this point, the sun's not directly overhead, so it's hard to tell. But this man is watching you as you approach the well, the both of you.
So I'll just lean over and say, look, hey, I don't know. I don't know where Mel is. I think we ought to just throw in 100 gold and not have, so that we don't have to worry about somebody being mad about it, Mel not following through. You know, we got here, which is all the help we really needed. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, we'll just get reimbursement. I think that would be fine. I take 50 gold and put it in my hand and show the guy it's 50, right?
50
It's
per...
100. It's 100 overall,
gold,
right?
100 gold.
It would be 100 normally, and then Blackjack Mel said he would spot you.
Yeah, so I just hold out 50 and I say, you know, just understand the queen doesn't want to, you know, be gypped, right? And so here's 50 and we'll get the other 50 amongst the rest of us.
I'll put
Bill,
in
how much do you have?
25.
You get 25, I'll pull out 25, and just put it all together in we'll put it all in the pouch that I've got, and just toss the whole thing in.
As this is happening, I try to swiftly change out 10 of the gold for copper.
10 of the gold for copper? Okay. Roll a sleight of hand check, please.
19.
19? Okay. Individual doesn't seem to say anything. He just kind of nods. Steps back. Stands against the wall. Back in his previous position.
Okay, so we've tossed in the money.
Mhm.
Let's go. Can we go inside?
Into this building, or which? Where are you
Into
going?
This, yeah, into this one.
Okay. So there's this door here, which it's locked, and he steps in front of you.
Okay.
Other door, friend. And he points to this door.
Okay. So I'll just go in through this one.
Okay.
And immediately I just want to look around for Mel, see if we can find him.
Okay. Give me 1 sec. As you walk in, you all greeted with a boisterous musical number occurring directly where you just walked in front of.
Okay.
And as you do so, make a dex saving throw.
It's him.
Yeah, just him, because he walked in
Not
front.
great. Not great. Dex saving throw 6.
6.
Yep.
You hear a boom, and a glass bottle strikes you in the head. And you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as the bottle smashes against your head.
On reaction,
Okay.
I will expend one of my psionic dice
Okay.
for what's it called? The protective field to reduce damage by 1d6 plus 2.
Okay.
Which is gonna be reduce
Okay.
it up to 8 damage. So
Okay.
I take note that it crashes on not me, basically.
Okay. It looks like it strikes you in the head, but you don't feel any pain as the psionic energy kind of shields you from the blunt force trauma. But you do hear a...
look cool when it happens, right? Like,
What about
walk
the
straight into it.
what about the rest of you? Are you guys heading into this bar, Scrawlneck, Cedric?
Yeah, do I see this bottle just like explode on his head?
Are you walking in to follow him, or
Yeah, I think
he's
we're all-
inside? Okay, so go ahead and bring
I
your
was just kind of following.
bring your tokens in here, Scrawlneck. I think you're still down below.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I don't know where my token is.
It's at the very bottom of the
Very
map.
bottom. Yeah, I don't think you moved it.
Oh yeah.
You can you're inside this building that I revealed. Just
Kind of in,
below,
like, the
just
middle,
below the
right?
well. If you see where the well is, here, they're right here. So he came in through this door here. I was assuming you guys were all following.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I asked him, and he said he was with us. So like, it's
Okay.
we were at the well together, putting all our money together.
1 sec. I gotta look up a name. Forget. Ugh. You see the bottle came from this individual here. Just 1 sec. Mm. Okay.
I gotta take off in a couple minutes.
Okay. All right. We'll wrap things up here. I have a little passage for you guys. As you enter the largest tap house in Buckledown Row, This large building used to be a popular spot for local musical shows and plays. The large stage at the back of the tavern still stands, and often you can find a group of bards here playing songs and occasionally a play being performed. The place is filled with elegant gold-accented wooden carved features, and there is a large chandelier with what seems like over 100 candles. Each table is illuminated by a red wax candle and golden cabarets. The place feels like the fanciest of the local establishments. The server is a tall elven woman with white hair and piercing hazel eyes named Tilda. She speaks elegantly and softly to any who come to her. Even though she is soft-spoken, one can hear her clear as day, as though the noise of ongoings of the tavern, sitting at the table closest to the stage, is a young man wearing studded leather armor and what appears to be a crest on their left breast. He is also the individual who threw the bottle at you.
Okay.
As he shouts across the various tables, looking at you, kind of steering you away from the stage. Do not interrupt my performance! What kind of imbecile steps directly in front of the stage while somebody is singing? What is your problem?
Let's quickly move out of the way. And just come down the side of this wall. And is Mel is not among these people, right?
Not that you can see, no.
Okay, is it crowded? Like, is there a lot of people in this area? I know you only have a handful of tokens here, but I mean, it could.
I would say probably. I would say it's probably about 20 or 30 people at the various tables around and sitting at the bar. A lot of the ones at the end tables are left vacant to give better view of the stage. It's very clear from what you can see in your passive perception. Everyone is sitting not directly in front of the stage, as if to give direct line of sight to this individual that threw the bottle at you.
Okay.
Very clearly, they are all flanking this one individual.
Okay. So I would walk in, stay close along, like I said, close along this wall, to stay out of the way, and I would not make eye contact with this guy, and just come all the way around as far unless he would stop me, but just come all the way around and
In
go
fact,
to the other part of the bar.
In fact, he does.
Yeah, sure.
So, hold it a moment.
I'll stop.
Who are you? What are you doing in this bar?
I say, just looking for Mel, a friend of ours from Emberwood Village.
Blackjack Mel?
Blackjack Mel, that's the one.
What could you possibly want with that pompous prick?
He owes us some money.
Of course he owes you money. He owes everyone money. Oh, goodness me. No manners for the performance, and dumb to boot. Look, if you're looking for Mel, he is usually in the adjacent bar. He's not one to observe the arts. He's better at drawing things while he's drunk than he is observing beautiful splendor and hearing elegant voices. If that's all, good day to you.
Thank you. And let's keep on moving. So you said is there an exit right here?
Yeah, there's right. There's a bouncer here.
Sure.
As you exit. So where are you headed?
He said the bar across the way, right?
Bar
He
next.
said
So I'm
the
assuming-
adjacent bar. So
The adjacent. Oh, okay. So I'm guessing would
Yeah.
it be this one?
yes. Yeah, he kind of motioned south.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So let's walk up to this door and very carefully listen before opening the door. See if I'm walking in front of a stage.
All right.
Yeah. So, but I'd like to go in here next, but I know that we're out of time. So.
All right. Well, with your passive perception, you hear large shouting and cheering and the grunting of a large individual, a very large individual. And as you poke your head in to get a closer look, you spot just to your right Blackjack Mel sitting at the bar,
There he is.
shooting the shit with some other individuals. Directly across, you see a huge orc, probably easily as big as you and Cedric, carrying a battle axe, probably the size of Tim.
Nice.
On his
Is
back.
that Tim?
Pardon me?
So is that Tim?
It looks like Tim if you melted him down and turned him into a weapon. It's probably an equivalent amount of metal. But yes, you do find Blackjack Mel, and with that, I think that's a good stopping point because I think Vale needs to head out for the evening. So we'll go ahead and cut things off there for the evening. But you guys are all... you have found Blackjack Mel in Buckledown Row. Narrowly avoided what could have been an altercation.
Look, man, like I had a hunch that Mel is not very reputable. So
But yeah, thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed yourselves.
Yep.
Didn't have to engage with any nasties narrowly this time around.
Good
So, yeah, we'll pick this up at a later time. Probably in about roughly 2 weeks again. Is our usual pattern.
yeah, I think we're ideally
So-
shoot for the same Friday that we planned on.
Right.
Would
So not
be
this
the
Friday,
fifth.
the 6th. Yeah, I think would be our next rotation. If that works for everybody tentatively.
We'll shoot for it.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you anybody who's watching. Appreciate it.
Vale's got to go. I don't know if you want to do because if we're here,
Yeah, y'all can.
if you want to
keep
do
rolling.
Shinies, thing because Shinies.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I don't know if you want to do that
Shinies.
now.
Yeah,
or
we
do it next time.
can do that, and then we'll just I can fill everybody in because you all are over here, so it wouldn't be directly affecting you at this time anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to listen. That's the only reason. You're muted, Shiny.
Wow, that's very good. I was like, not my mixer. I was like, what are you talking about? I just thought, yeah, it's kind of like the opposite of what happened last time. Yeah, whatever. If you wanna do it, yeah, I'm down. Whatever.
Okay.
I just was gonna hop on Elden Ring after, so yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Well, Vale, if you have to head out, Appreciate it. good having you.
Easier. Y'all
Oh, yeah,
enjoy
Daddy.
for your nights.
All right.
Look, Vale. We'll see you, man.
So,
Later, brother.
Deuces.
bye-bye.
All right. We'll just switch over to the.
Yeah, didn't say fuck up everything over there.
Nah, that's why I have the no battle cam.
Yeah, Sam.
I planned this time. I planned it. Wasn't making that mistake twice. Learned my lesson. But yeah, let me pop back over to Emberwood Village. I don't have like a building specific one for the Red Lion Inn, but we'll just do this Theater of the Mind style.
Do it, baby.
All right. So you are here at the Red Lion Inn. Shortly after separating from your companions, Tim, you take the what I'm assuming is probably covered piece of delirium with you. Is there anything you like to do in the hours prior to meeting up with River?
Nope. I'm just gonna really just sit there with it wrapped around in my cloth in a bag, just sitting there just chilling in the lobby waiting. I
Okay.
will literally do nothing. I'm a
Okay.
robot. I don't care.
Okay. Okay. All right. From here, you sit in the poshly appointed lobby of the Red Lion Inn. Having seen you prior with River in company, the staff don't pay you too much mind. Normally, they would look at you questioningly if you were new, given the occasional ruffian that comes in drunk from the neighboring establishments. You notice in this area it's very poshly appointed, very higher brow than some of the other areas. You notice well-appointed wait staff looking after the customers of the Red Lion Inn, serving them occasional drinks as requested. Very much speakeasy vibes, if you will. You are waiting for I would say probably 2.5, 3 hours here in the lobby of the inn, watching various people come and go, occasionally seeing members of the Hooded Lanterns come in, come and go, speaking with the staff. You see couple more heavily armored individuals bearing the crest of the Sacred Flame on their breast or on their shield, perhaps coming over from the adjacent church, the smaller church, not the main cathedral that you see on the map, a small one here in Emberwood Village. But shortly before dark, the door swings open gently, and a hooded figure in a purple cloak, one worn exclusively by members of the Amethyst Academy, saunters in, and gently removes their cloak, revealing their classic blue hair, tannish brown horns, and lightly tanned skin, looking about, their horns kind of drifting back into their hair like little boats sailing through a river, as River looks about, spotting you on the far side, seated not far from where you had discussed previously, and approaches you, and sits across from you. Crosses her legs, is over at you. Well, I'm hoping you were successful, as you are sitting here. You're muted again.
No. I know
okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think what I want to say to her, because I kind of want to just fucking backhand the shit out of her for saying that right now, but.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
Oh, you alright?
Yeah, no, I'm good. It reset my shit. Hold on. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, oh, I hear you twice.
No. Oh, is it still?
No,
Oh.
you're good now. Yeah, when you just talked before, I heard you twice,
okay.
but now you're okay. Now you're
Okay,
good.
good.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
Alive would be a way to... Well, let's not get into that. Yes, I am here. I have what you asked.
Well done. Show me.
Okay. So reach my bag, and then actually, hold on. Hold on.
Before I show you the item, I would like to make sure you have what we agreed upon.
Without much hesitation, she reaches into her bag on her hip. A bag that's deceivingly small, but she reaches down well past her forearm. Far more than is
that's right, I
physically
remember.
possible. and reaches back out and pulls out
I want
a
that
much
bag, man.
a much larger bag,
It's a really cool bag.
filled with coin, and without much hesitation, sets it on the table. You hearing the clinking of coin. As we agreed.
Fantastic.
Reach into my bag, and I put the stone wrapped. I don't know. I guess I put it in a cloth or whatever.
Okay.
On the table. Yeah.
Please.
She gently reaches over, pulls back the cloth, examines it carefully. Well done. It's one of the larger pieces we've recovered in quite some time.
One of the largest ever in the fucking world. Come on. Sorry.
But she puts the... Oh, my camera froze. Son of a gun. Oh, well, it doesn't matter right now.
Did.
Doesn't matter right now.
We're no cam. It's all good.
All right. Anyway. At least it froze now, not earlier.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
timing. But anyway, yeah. She puts the cloth back over and picks up the stone or the crystal carefully. Covers it up. I can't remember. Did you sell her that other piece that you had previously?
No, I didn't because what's it called? My gold's only at 83 right now, so no, I didn't.
Okay.
I think she told me because I still held on to it. Then she told me, be careful who you deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably going to give it to her now.
Okay.
When I do everything, but I'm gonna wait with the, do all this, and then because I have another thing I'm gonna ask after I do this, part of the dealio.
Okay. All right. So hold on, make sure I can write this down. I've got to search through my notes from like weeks ago, months ago.
How much it was?
Yeah.
I have written down that you were gonna give me 1250 to get the crystal for this, and then
Right.
it was 600 gold for delirium.
That's right. For the other piece.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, for both pieces, 600 for the smaller specimen, and 1250 for the crystal. As agreed.
As agreed.
Well done, Tim. See? We work quite well, and we offer good payment for these types of items, as the Academy is, quite frankly, the only one capable of neutralizing the negative aspects of delirium. That being said, as I'm sure you know, delirium isn't our only reason for being here in this city.
And what else would you be here for?
How familiar are you with the tower? The former tower of the Academy that now looms over the city.
Hold that thought. I don't 100% remember. Wait 1 sec, I'm just checking. No, I don't know anything about it.
I'm not aware of anything with the tower.
Well, I'm sure they asked you and told you our primary reason for being here is to reestablish our former foothold in that tower. Although these crystals are quite valuable. Having access to the inscrutable tower in Drakkenheim is without a doubt the most invaluable resource the Academy has ever had in its possession. To be frank, we need to gain access to the tower once more. You seem to be capable of at least general utility in this city thus far. You've proven yourself to be capable. However, right now, even the Academy, with all its resources, cannot gain access to the regions around the tower. But there is an individual that could assist us. I need you to find him.
What is this individual's name?
His name is Oscar Yoren. However, gaining his assistance might not be as easy as you and I are to work together. He's a defunct mage like yourself. In fact, he's quite hostile towards the Academy in general, but a brilliant mage nonetheless. He cut ties with the Amethyst Academy several years ago, and we believe him to be here in the city. In fact, I believe he's doing business with the Hooded Lanterns, in fact.
Who?
The Lanterns. The guards that... The former guards, I should say, that try to play police in the city.
I don't think it's going to be hard to get him on our side. I may have him in.
You don't say. I can tell you now, will probably have zero intention of helping us directly. But we don't need him to. What we specifically need is his research. His notes on a possible way of protecting oneself against the haze, specifically the deeper haze that would otherwise kill you given mere brief exposures. Or worse, turn you into some unspeakable monstrosity. Rumor has it he's developed some means of counteracting the deeper haze. We need you to find this research. Either get him to give it to you willingly, or if need be, collect it less than willingly, but we'd prefer not to kill him. It's not our intent. He is a brilliant individual, but we highly doubt that he'll want to work with the Academy. Essentially, what I'm asking you to do is... I'm asking you to beat up a nerd and steal their homework.
Oh my god, you're ridiculous.
He's a brilliant man, but a bit of self-absorbed one. Fortunately, he's too smart for his own good. But we need that research. We need to be able to get into the tower.
And what's in it for me? I personally don't care about the Academy getting into the tower. Why should I continue to assist you? Our agreement for the delirium is fine, but what will you do for me? I'm not going to keep being your errand boy.
We can compensate you monetarily. In addition, we can assist with some of the Academy's research, specifically with delirium-infused magical items. I know in your past life, you were researching taboo subjects, much like Oscar Yoren is, which is proven to be what put you in your situation now. What we're offering is a means to potentially continue that research with a bit more guise of the Academy, of course.
I have one. Oh, I messed up my go. Hold on 1 second.
I have one question about this individual.
Go ahead.
Well, two technically to see what he looks like. But my question would be, did he actually succeed in opening a portal to Mechanus that you know of?
Out of character, are you referring to yourself or are you referring to Oscar Yoren?
Oscar Yorn. I'm asking because if he's kind of like if he dabbled in the same stuff that I did, I'm curious if he was able to do what I couldn't do. This is just for my knowledge, just to see if he did. I don't know if it's like his intent if he would have.
As far as I know, Oscar Yoren wasn't really concerned with otherworldly beings, at least not at the time that he was with the Academy. He was more concerned with delirium, and specifically delirium as a means of, as an energy source, as well as what it can provide to the caster as an individual to supplement their magical powers and their mage-born abilities. As far as I know, he'd never dabbled in any other interdimensional travel. His was more of a physiological research on the effects of delirium in supplementing the natural abilities of a mageborn. Which is why we believe his research into developing an immunity or a self-defensive mechanism against the haze is extremely important. At least for the time being.
All right. I'll find your man.
Good. Seems we have a deal. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead because mine's like kind of off subject. You go ahead. Yeah, it's fine. I can ask after. It's okay.
You can bring me the research in the next, let's say, the next week or so. I'll be back after I visit with one of my other contacts in one of the other free cities. Bring me the research, and we'll pay you 600 gold, as well as provide you with one of our delirium-infused magical items that we've recently developed. Quite potent item, I might say. Definitely more valuable than this raw specimen that you delivered today.
Out of character, I'm gonna assume we're gonna meet back here, same place, red line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so mechanically speaking, she's offering you a special magic item infused with delirium and 600 gold upon delivery of whatever research or means to essentially develop a shield or an immunity to the deeper haze.
Okay, gotcha.
Some sort of researchable substance or item from Oscar Yoren's abode, wherever he might be.
Okay, cool. All right. Then the other thing I'm gonna ask is, I'm just pulling up here.
Before you go, I do have one inquiry to ask. When we procured the stone from the infestation we got it from, it was part of a larger object. Part of the object contained this material. I do not recognize it. Would you potentially recognize it?
Or would you potentially recognize it? And I'll show her the meteor shard.
Okay, the lumps of metal.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay.
I think I just wrote it as like meteor or something. Yeah.
Yeah, meteor
metal. Yeah, that's why I wrote it. Yeah.
Okay. So you set the metal out on the table. She's already collected up the delirium crystal and the shard that you had given her and paid you. And she looks over the metal. Well, I'm not exactly a metallurgist, but I have seen this substance before, as it tends to be in proximity to some of the original chunks of the meteor that of the delirium that we've seen, some of the original specimens that we came across when we first began our expedition into the city. This meteoric metal is not unlike another metal here on the planet that we live on. It is not magical in nature, but it is no less valuable. If it is similar to that metal, it is not unlike the adamantine that many smiths will craft fine armor and implements out of.
What are you talking about?
Given the right skill and enough time, and of course the coin, I'm sure a skilled enough blacksmith could certainly craft this into a number of different items, give or take, especially if used with potentially delirium or some other arcane enchantments. It could be used to craft quite a fine armor or weapon, but that's all I know.
I appreciate the information. Thank you very much, River.
Of course. The Academy is not above forgiving you for your past transgressions, Tim. But you have to understand, we are subject to the Edicts of Lumen. to violate those accords could result in far more dangerous situations that none of us are prepared to withstand. We do not need another large-scale war in Westamar. This city is already being watched by other major powers in this world. It has value, but only to those who are capable of seizing said value. The Academy would like to be one of those major powers. And we do need your assistance in this.
I'll assist you. I'm not really seeking forgiveness. I do not care. I just want to acquire. I have things I'm looking to do. If I have to assist the Academy again to get these things, I will assist.
Fair enough. Well, I'll leave you to your task. And I will see you in a week's time. If you succeed before then, feel free to come and find me here.
Add a character. I mean, I'll just.
If I do, how do I find you?
Simply speak with the owner and proprietor here. They know how to reach me.
Understood.
And she looks over and nods at the young half-elven man that's behind the bar. One of the few half-elves that you've seen in this area. Most of Drakenheim is human, with the occasional inter-species mix, but elves in particular you don't see quite a lot of in this region. The occasional half-elf, but not very few full-blooded elves. But they do nod back, and River nods to them. And she proceeds to begin to jot down a few things in her large tome. Seemingly writing a number of various glyphs and things of that nature. And then also, occasionally you see at one point her eyes kind of rolling back into her head a little bit for a few seconds, silently, and then kind of coming back to norm again as she then begins writing again, as if listening to a conversation that you are not privy to.
I'm not even gonna ask about it. Not even. Nope. Nope. I'm good. I'll just let her do her thing. That's fine.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to say or do while River's here, or are you?
No, I'm good. She answered
Okay.
all my questions. Yeah.
All right. Well, you have your marching orders at this point. Your next proposed task. It sounds like this Oscar Yoren is somewhere here in the city, and has had dealings with the Hooded Lanterns. But you leave the Red Lion Inn with a significantly heavier purse in tow. Is there anything you'd like to do before we wrap up for the night?
the only thing I would like to do, because it's gonna probably be some time before it actually would get the next item or whatever, is I don't know how long it's gonna take, but the only other thing I really want to do is I do want to buy the item off of Aldor. That one thing that it was like a wand or whatever.
Oh, okay.
That's literally the only other thing, but that's gonna be a little
Yes.
bit more of a conversation. Then I can wait for another time. That's like the only.
I mean, we can kind of expedite it. So it's getting pretty late at this point, and most of the shops are shutting down. But you do see that I mean, Aldor's hard to miss in the caravan court. He's easily one of the largest individuals, both height and girth, of any individual in Emberwood Village, and quite the outstanding, audacious individual as well. As you approach, you kind of see he's got his back turned to you, and he's moving about some chests and kind of directing some of his guards to move some things around. One of the other guards that is still kind of watching sees you approach and kind of steps forward, and he turns his head over and goes, "Oh, it's my metal friend. How are you doing today?"
I don't miss that. I don't miss that. Oh, God.
"How can I help you? I was just beginning to close up shop, but I can certainly make some time."
I'm here to procure the wand we discussed of several days ago.
Ah, yes. That one I still do have. I have had other inquiries, though, but nobody quite has the taste for something quite so exquisite. At least not in this region of the world. I believe we agreed upon 800 gold.
Your memory fails you, Aldor. We agreed on 5.
Okay. It is quite a rare item, but I doubt I'll be selling it here. 600 gold, and it's yours.
As you said, you would not be moving it very soon, and I am losing patience. It is now 450.
Give me a persuasion check.
13.
13? Good point. 500 gold it is.
As agreed.
All right. Well, you can deduct 500 gold, and you can add Wand of the War Mage +1 to your inventory.
Fucking money bags over here, man. Jeez. I'm scraping 25 gold out of my pouch so that I can throw it in the
Wand of the War Mage +1 to my equipment. Hooray! +1 spell attack. You ignore half cover when making a spell. Oh, that would have been fucking useful a while ago. Okay. Okay, cool. Dope.
Is that all you'd like to purchase today? Didn't your rather tall, coated friend, didn't he have his eyes on a couple of these other exquisite items of mine? A couple of rings, perhaps?
He did, but I do not recall what items he was specifically looking for, so we may return back another time, but as of right now, that is all I need from you.
Very well. Pleasure doing business with you.
Good evening.
Ugh.
He turns back around, and you can see, as he sets the crate down, you can see there's a platter of food that he goes to grab some bits and pieces off of, and you just hear this slurping sound from behind you.
Stop doing that.
I rolled a 20 on my constitution, so I'm alright.
You keep the puke down below your throat. Or whatever robots would upchuck.
Whatever it is, yeah.
You keep the oil in your canister. All right. Is there anything else y'all would like to do, or we're gonna go ahead and call it there?
I'm good with that. That's fucking good.
All right.
Are you gonna try and make your way up to where we are?
Yeah, after you guys had fucking almost a fucking shit show fucking getting there again, yeah, no, I'm just gonna hang out probably at the end, and I'll just wait for you guys to come back, because I'm sure you'll probably just end up going that way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just, I'll worry about the next session, but I'll just like see if like I can like send, there's like a range on message, right? Like I can't just like beam it across the city or something.
There's the sending spell, which I don't think you have the ability to cast yet, or can cast.
No.
No message. I don't know if it has a range. I want to say it's not that far, like more than a few hundred feet. It will say in the spell.
Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. It's fine. I'll just hang out here. I'm sure they'll end up coming back here. It's fine. This kind of just seems to be our reoccurring point is the inn with the lady, whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, it was a pleasure, guys. I hope you enjoyed yourselves.
Yeah, always, man.
Sure.
I'm waiting for the mimic. It's coming.
Keep rolling low. You'll find one eventually.
Oh, you son of a bitch! I knew it.
Gonna feel really bad.
Among some other stuff. The mimic's not that bad.